Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have Alex Vitillo, leading Shamanic Priestess of Wealth and Wellbeing. Alex traverses the material and mystical worlds. After over 15 very successful years in finance, Alex lost her husband to cancer. She found respite in meditation, mindfulness, and energy healing. She retrained herself in several energy techniques and has developed her own methodology. Alex is also an expert in working with sacred money archetypes to help her clients reach financial abundance through the path of least resistance. Alex empowers visionaries, high achievers, and heart-centered entrepreneurs to become the soulful, impactful, and rich leaders they were born to be. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. Today we have a wonderful guest, Alex Vitillo. Alex helps people to step into their soulful, impactful, rich leader. Before I bring Alex in, I just want to make a shout out to our show sponsors, Craig Shelley, Beverly Hills Luxury Watches and Fine Jewelry at craigshelley.com. We are streaming live on MSP News Global.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we're also on the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many, many more. So let's bring in our guest, Alex. Alex, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Hello, Mark. What an introduction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love the reel. So I'm so grateful to be here with you today. Thank you.
It's my honor. And Alex, you have a really powerful, impactful story. What has led you into the work you are doing today? So can you take us back a little bit and share some of that story with us?
Thank you, Mark. So a lot of people are surprised when I go back a few years and share my stories, because I come from a very strong financial and economic background. And I know, first look doesn't tell, but I studied economics in Italy. And I went into the city here in London, really into investment banking, economic consultancy. And I was what I call in the money, really in the money, on trading floors with clients. And it was a brilliant world. That said, you do life, and I got married to an Englishman, and life was amazing. I had 2 amazing children. And I took a career break when my children were born. And a few years later, boom, I was really on my hands and knees. You read it in the bio. My husband had cancer, and that destroyed him, it destroyed our family. And I was really in a dark, dark place, Mark. And at that time, like I said, there was no career. I left the investment banking to be with the kids, and no more husband to provide. And I had really a couple of choices to make. And the first one was really, do I want to be here? Do I want to wake up, and it wasn't even waking up because at that time I wasn't sleeping, but do I want to be here in the morning? And thank God, I think that survival mother instinct prevailed and said, yes, Alex, you got to be here. You've got two angels. There were 4 and 6 at the time when their dad passed. And I thought, okay, I'm staying here. But then the second choice was, what do? I now have to earn a living again. And the investment banking seems to be the obvious way, right? Because I came from there, and that's where the brilliance, and that's where a lot of money is. And yet I felt it's long hours. It's long hours. It's a competitive market. And I thought, my children already lost their dad. Do I want them to lose their mom and leave home at 6 in the morning, come back at 8 at night? And I thought, no. And I had to take a break. I had to take a break and pause and say, what do I do? And like you read in my bio, meditation started to really uplift me. And from there, I was always connected with the angels. And I put on my questions, what do I do? And when you ask, chances are the universe delivers an answer. You got to listen, because it wasn't a bang, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be a shamanic priestess. Didn't start that way. But little by little, I thought, okay, I'm going to retrain. And I discovered meditation, mindfulness. That was, again, maybe the more traditional route. And from there, I went into shamanism, energy healings, and everything that I do now. So this is how I started my, what I call spiritual business now.
That's a great story, and thank you for sharing your vulnerability. So you come from a past of having a really good financial background, and then tragedy strikes and you lost your husband, and that sent you at first into being a little bit down, depressed, and maybe having some suicidal thoughts. But then you pulled yourself up and really started to follow your intuition and your passions, which has led you to the work that you do today. It's a great story. And also, I know the power of meditation and mindfulness for our well-being. Meditation is scientifically proven to improve brain function. You think better, you act better, you make better choices. So I am a big advocate for meditation. I highly recommend it. Tell us a little bit about your business now and the kind of work that you do with your clients, Alex.
So thank you for asking. I went through a moment when I discovered all of my psychic gifts. So I'd forgotten. When I was a child, I was highly psychic. I could forecast things and knew exactly who would say what would happen, what wouldn't happen. And I forgot all of that. And then when I started to open up with meditation, it all started to come back. And it gives me this advantage to support people because I see things in their business that they don't necessarily see themselves. And I decided to marry the two things. So to marry the practical of, how do you run a business? What does it mean to, deal with money? With what does it mean to deal with your intuition? What does it mean to rely on spirit to get insights? And that allows me to create a very powerful combinations for my clients because it really is the mix of both. And I say it's very common to find maybe a mindset mentor, but mindset mentor work on the mind, and the mind, we all know by now that it's 5% of all of who we are. So even when, of course, it's better to have a mindset coach than none at all, I always say, right? But that's 5%. What I do, it looks at the 95. So when you start to see what is happening in that 95%, but my passion is to help you create financial freedom, because ultimately we still live in a world where money has a lot of power to help you do what you love, to help you choose where do you want to live, to help you choose who do I want to live with, right? And through that money and power, you can change the world for the better. It's a lot easier to organize cleaning up the planet when you can invest in those fundings, as opposed to, say, oh, I got to work 24/7. I don't even have one day to volunteer. And so my mission is really to help entrepreneurs to create financial freedom so that everything else around them and in their own world becomes a lot lighter.
And what I like about the whole world of spirituality, and obviously you say about your psychic abilities and trusting your intuition, science actually backs it up a lot more now. So it's not anywhere as near woo-hoo as it used to be. We all know now for a fact that there's an energy field, a quantum field, that we are part of the field. It surrounds us, but we're all part of it, an electromagnetic field, and that is proven now. And also there's science now about trusting your gut as well, and that intuition feeling. There is an energy that we are picking up, and it's scientifically proven now. Don't you think it's a great time to be alive with all the scientific developments within all of these fields?
Totally, Mark. And we have our second brain is in our gut. So literally, there is that energy field. And also the fact, I did a couple of lives before I showed up today, and I said, it's so amazing for me to be a shamanic priestess and yet to be invited on the Brilliance Business platform. That gives me a lot of hope and a lot of joy, because like you say, it's not woo-woo anymore, and I work with many different types of clients. So some clients, they like to talk about the unicorns and the guides and the angels. Some clients, that especially works in corporate and they're CEO, and they might not necessarily relate to the energy of a unicorn. So the same, they're open and receptive, but they don't need to go into that energy. Yet when you explain to them, about the well-being and the field and the science, they understand, and this is where it becomes very powerful in the way they create their financial freedom. So totally exciting time to be alive. Totally, this is the time, I say, to take responsibility for yourself. It's not about blaming others, and it's not about what I call lip service, just saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Right now, the field wants to see actions. The field is how you show up, and we got to show up.
And you transform your clients into really soulful, impactful leaders. And more than ever, leaders need to be leading from their heart space as well. Again, science has proven that our hearts have a stronger electromagnetic field than our minds. So for manifestation and creating a different reality, we need to be in our heart space and coming from the heart as well, because there are a lot of leaders, not true leaders, but they're not coming from the heart. They are very brain-based, and some are very narcissistic. And it's really important we all connect our hearts. Do you agree there?
Totally. And again, science just proved that the magnetic field that emanates from the heart is, I think, 40 times bigger and stronger than the one that emanates from the brain. So that's why I say I work with soulful, impactful leaders, because I want to work with people that want to make a difference in the world. So it's not about competition. It's not about what do I get, how do I get to the top. And it's more like you say, drop into your heart and say, what did I came here to do? Because ultimately we got here to unify and to uplift the world and to uplift everything around us. So when you drop into your heart, this is when you feel that call. This is when you know, oh, this is what I'm here to do. And there's so much joy that then comes at play, even if it's your business, even if you want to make, like I say, you want to make money out of it, right? Because this is the world we live in. But it's so much more gracious and also natural for it to happen, as opposed to, slaving away to make money and maybe to destroy everything in the way. again, that's not allowed. Mother Earth is going to say, there's no place for you here, right? We're going to honor where we are, and we're going to honor everything and everyone around us. And you can only do that if you're in your heart, truly, truly, truly in your heart. It's a challenge, right? But that's the one, again, when you take responsibility, that's the one that takes you to leadership.
Yes, I agree 100%. Alex, we're going to go to a commercial break. Stay where you are. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for part 1 of Brilliance Business TV. We're joined with Alex Vitillo. She has shared her personal journey coming from a background of financial security, but then tragedy struck and she lost her husband through cancer. It left her depressed and having suicidal thoughts, but she tapped into her inner power, her inner intuition, and that sent her on a journey of being of service and supporting others. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. We're here with Alex Vitillo. Alex, you create big results for your clients. I want to know, are there some common traits that the leaders you work with have that lead them to get such great results?
Thank you. Thank you. The answer is yes. It wasn't apparent to me at first because I have mentors as well, right? And one of my mentors said, well, what is your niche, Alex? Who do you serve? I was like, a bit of this, a bit of that, and they're in well-being, and maybe they're in corporate. It was all a bit, I couldn't put my finger on it. And then I thought, what is it the thing they have in common? It's not if they're into well-being or into services or selling a product. They all have the same attitude, which is they're really open to an alternative way of doing the business. They're really open in what am I here to do? They're open into that exploration. And the one thing that makes me smile, and they all have in common, they generally see me on a TV interview or on stage somewhere or, on a Facebook feed, and they say, Alex, I saw you that one time and I felt a pull that I had to work with you. And even though I'm not sure what you do. So I think that common thread of I felt a pull, I don't know what you do, but I feel that I've got to work with you and I trust you. To me, that shows a lot of courage. And what these people have, it's courage. It's courage to say, I'm going to come out of my shell. I'm going to, do something highly uncomfortable because, investing in somebody that you've known almost nothing about. And even when we have a conversation, it's very hard for me to predict this is exactly what your journey is going to do. This is exactly our session or conversation or a practice is going to do, right? But they feel and they say, I feel it. I feel it. And somebody said to me, I'm not ready. I'll never be ready. So again, it's that acknowledgement of where I am on my own. It's not enough. And I've got the courage to step up and say, Alex, I want to discover your magic and I welcome your magic. And when they do that, really the doors open up for them.
And we have talked about the mystical side, and you also work on a very practical side too. How do you marry the practical with the mystical, and what kind of tools do you use for your clients to get them results?
Thank you. So again, I've realized that when I started I also did what I call regular coaching, business coaching, right? And I was saying to myself, oh, I'm not a business coach. Then I went down the Shamanic avenue, and it was all about energy and energy healings. And I discovered my own methodology. And I thought, okay, just this or just that for me was limiting myself, right? And I thought, what if I bring the two together? And really, depending on what I mentioned earlier, depending on where the clients are, some people are very uncomfortable if I start to use witch energies or fairy energy, or if I work with crystals, but they may be very comfortable with the meditation. They may be very comfortable. I also use a lot the body. So we go into breath work. I'm training quantum flow, which is really, again, the marriage of breath work and meditation together. So it really is step by step practical. Do we need to work more on how do I do my business? What do I do to open a business? What do I do to market my business? What do I do to charge? How much do I charge? This is what I call very practical. And with what am I here to do? How do I develop my intuition? How do I start to magnetize clients as opposed to, go and look for them? And it's really true that unique combinations that clients get their results. So it's not just the shamanic or the energy, and it's not just a business mentorship per se. It's really a combination of the two. And when I'm ready for the next step, this is where I take them. Yeah.
And when you're in great energy and in the flow, things just happen. You still have to take action, but it's not really coming from a place of not wanting to do the action. I just feel when you're in the flow, everything happens so naturally, Alex. Now, I myself, I have a very abundant mindset. So even when I did network marketing many years ago, I would hear many network marketers saying the company I was in was saturated. It was really competitive, oversaturated. I just never had that kind of mindset. I feel like there's enough abundance out there for everyone. So I personally don't ever see saturation or competitiveness because I come from abundance. What do you feel about this? And would you class the industry you're in as being really competitive?
I think I experienced a lot of what you experienced, Mark, because I was told even by social media. I was looking for a social media manager a while back, and that person said, oh my God, the world of coaching and healing is so saturated. Oh my God, it's so hard. And if you start to give into that energy, and then it's COVID and people don't have money and people don't want to meet up, and can you feel? I feel already. Oh my God. Well, it's like when I'm a matchmaker as well. People come to me and say, and generally it's a woman sometimes saying, oh, all the good men are taken. All the good men are too young. Oh, you only need one, right? So with clients, you don't need just one, but there is so much abundance in the world, like you say. And the more we can collaborate, the more abundance we create. And this is why it's very, very, very important when you do your business to be in your own space and to really tap into what am I here to do? And how can I share my talents, my gift, and how can I be open to abundance, right? Because then when you are open to abundance, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. Somebody will always benefit from your services. So I very much think like you, And again, this is something that some of my clients may find a little bit of a difficulty just because the world around them, and sometimes it's their own partner and spouse that say, oh, you left your great job in the bank and now look, and now it's going to be hard. So if you're surrounded 24/7 by that energy, you're going to feel naturally deflated. And this is why you want a good cheerleader, somebody that says, like you said, there's plenty of abundance, plenty, 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 plenty. Just let it come to you.
It's a really important point, actually, Alex, especially in the world of entrepreneurship. I had people telling me, stick to what you're good at. You're a good hairdresser, even though I had lost passion for being a hairdresser. Stick to what you're good at. And when I went into public speaking coaching, someone actually said to me who was in business, but there's lots of coaches, Mark. Why do you want to become a coach? And I just said, there may be a lot of coaches, but I am a good coach and I am going to do it from a good place. So I will be successful. So in entrepreneurship, it's really important we don't listen to negative people around us who have limiting beliefs. It's really important we believe in our own self, our own intuition. And that can be really hard sometimes when the people closest to you, it can be family members, they don't have the same belief as what you have. So that is a key point to look out for if you are new in entrepreneurship. Believe in yourself and follow your passion. People will try to drag you down, but always believe in your own vision, your own dream, and your passions. It's really, really important. Can you share a few words of wisdom and some tips to help new emerging leaders, entrepreneurs to grow their businesses without overwhelm?
Sure, Mark. So you touched on one. I'll repeat it at the end because we hadn't spoke about our 3 tips. The one is exactly the one you said. So I'll just repeat it after.
Sorry, I've just taken your tip away from you.
That's okay. That's okay. Maybe somebody really needs to hear it. So I would say tip number 1, I always say, you don't have to do it alone. So being in the world entrepreneurship, especially now that chances are you're going to be online, in your office, in your house corner, all alone, don't do your business alone. And I said there are two really important supporters in your business. One is the spirit helpers. So again, if you're open to spirituality, if you're open to a little bit of magic, you've got hundreds, millions of spirit helpers that are there to support you when you ask. And then there are your human helpers, and I'm one of them. Mark is one of them, right? Find the person that is there to support you. And you're not meant to be supported by your friends, your children, your partners. The way you do business in between you, your business partners, if you have a team, if you have. So don't ask your husband to be there to support you in that. It's not their role. It's not the role of your children. It's not the role of anyone else. Would you agree, Mark?
Definitely. Sometimes your family, friends, they won't have the same passion and the same belief for what you want to pursue. So it's really important you connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs, people who are on the same journey or path, people who are walking the steps that you want to walk. And sometimes it's people that you have never really had much time with, that you don't know well, that will give you that chance and support you even more than close friends and family. And also you will lose friends along the way because they won't like to see the person that you're becoming, and they will want to see you as the old person still. I've lost a lot of friends on my way up, and that's not anything to do with you are doing something wrong. It's that it makes your friends uncomfortable that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, because they're scared to step out on, they're scared to follow their passions, so it makes them uncomfortable.
Beautiful. And I'm smiling because my tip number 2, and again, we haven't rehearsed that, is you gotta jump out of your comfort zone. Miracles happen when you want to grow a business without overwhelm, outside of your comfort zone. Like for me, to give you another very practical example, I'm the shyest person you could even imagine. I know it's hard to imagine, but I'm really shy. So when one of my mentors said, oh, you got to give a talk, I was, oh my God, But I listened. Again, I listened to my mentor and I thought, okay, I hired this person because they know a little bit more than me how to grow my business. So I'm going to listen. And I did step out of my comfort zone. And that opened really a lot of doors for me. So I'm not saying that you all have to go on stage and but you got to do something that is outside your comfort zone. And a lot of time it is investing in a mentor, in a healer, in a coach. Some people think, oh, I got to do it all myself. And also there is this idea that I'll invest in a coach, a mentor, a healer after I got 10 clients, when I got the money. Well, I've got to say the big news here. Your 10 clients are not going to come until you invest in somebody to support your business. So you got to start to think backwards. And this is where another thing that I like about leadership is when you say, I'm ready to step up and be responsible, leaders go first. And this is a tip that I wish, again, I didn't have to discover. Somebody told me, leaders go first. What does it mean? When an opportunity is put in front of you, don't wait to see, has it worked? Does it not work? Let me do some. You follow your intuition. Of course, this is why we say it's important. But if that thing starts to happen 2-3 times and somebody say, oh, do you want to come on this show, for instance? I know, Mark, you asked me twice, right? I didn't wait for a third time. I just said, ask me twice, I gotta listen, right? I'm not gonna wait another 6 months till Mark says, come on my show. So it's the same for you. Leaders go first. You gotta jump out of your comfort zone and do it before everyone else does. And the third tip is what you mentioned is you gotta believe in yourself. This is the words that are written down. You gotta believe in yourself. And it's okay to be confused, to not be sure. Am I here to offer this product or that product? Am I here? But believe in yourself. And you can have questions and doubt. And again, with the right person mentoring and really showing you your magnificence and your talents and your skills, just say, claim it and say, yes, this is what I'm here to do. And all the stories, I have people telling me, again, friends and family, you're a narcissist. Why do you wear a queen? Why do you wear a crown on your photo? Because I like it, right? And because I'm claiming my leadership. And if people are not there to support you, they're probably not the right people.
And that is a great, great word of wisdom. Your tribe will always be with you. And I like your tip about investing in yourself. I've invested tens and tens of thousands of pounds into coaches, mentors, voice coaching, public speaking coaching, life coaching, seminars, events, and it's a really important point. Some entrepreneurs will just say no to investing, but how are they ever going to sell a $7,000 package if they've never invested 7,000 into a package themselves? So invest in yourself first and the magic will happen. I think that was a key point there. I know you have a book, Alex, and I want you to share a little bit about your book and also about the Sacred Money Archetype as well.
So the book is a book that I co-authored. Again, it was an opportunity, and I thought, you know what? I'm writing my book. It's The Art of Connection.
I'm in it.
Yes.
I'm in this book as well.
Yes. So you're familiar with that, right?
Yes, yes.
Like I said, this opportunity came through for me, and I thought, gonna do it without giving it too much attention. And then I discovered that the people that organized this book, they're really heart-centered. They're visionaries. Again, I'm interviewed on their channel tonight, and it's just, for me, it was a beautiful compensation of, okay, you took again a leap of faith and say, I'm going to be in the book. And it turns out that people that really want to create a beautiful impact, they were very supportive, very heartwarmed. And yeah, it's just, and it made it to #1 as well, right, Mark? So it's,
I'm on September the 16th in the book, so you can check out my page there.
I will check it out.
Tell us a little bit about the Sacred Money Archetype.
Yeah, so the Sacred Money Archetypes is something, it's a tool that I use that it's, again, very practical, very science-oriented. It comes with these beautiful, beautiful archetypes, beautiful cards. And the tool is a very specific tool to work on money. So I say the way we do money comes from, a lot of our experience, a lot of, if you want to believe in past life, but even without going there, your culture, where you've grown up, your surrounding. And the Sacred Money Archetypes is to identify what are the 8 characters that we all have, but how they interplay. And it's like, I like to see it as big, gigantic forces that are, maneuvering the threads, the invisible threads that then create your money story, i.e., if you've got a business, how much money is coming in, without you necessarily knowing, this is happening for me. Because again, money, if you look at it, is an energetic exchange. So if you don't feel that you're offering something to the world that is really supporting you, chances are you're going to pull back, right? So these archetypes is very, very, when I mentioned you don't have to do business alone, you get spirit helpers. This is a way to look at it. How are these forces maneuvering in the background without you knowing it that are really impacting your money story? So with clients, and all of them, I work with clients that had, some had a bit more of a limiting block, some are very abundant. And yet when we work with the Sacred Money Archetypes, it's like, I didn't know this was happening. I didn't know why, money was coming only that way and not that way. And it's such a beautiful way, again, to give yourself permission to claim that riches and to say, hey, like for me, one of my archetypes is celebrity. So no wonder I love to dress up and show up on camera, with the glitter, the sparkle. I don't have to hide it anymore. I feel like this is part of who I am. And that's going to allow you to do money the different way, more conscious way. And there's so many tips in there that just says, this is to direct you to create money consciously from the heart and with a lot more knowing and understanding of why things happening in your business and in your life.
You're a true example of a true leader. You're walking the walk and talking the talk, and you look amazing. Keep being you. Never dull your sparkle for anybody. So you are offering a free consultation. Check out Alex Vitillo's website. You can go to breathingheart.co.uk. That's breathingheart.co.uk. breathingheart.co.uk. Follow Alex on Instagram at Breathing Heart Coaching. That's her Instagram handle, Breathing Heart Coaching. Alex, I have really enjoyed having a conversation with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Coming on to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine. You have been watching Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. Alex Vitillo has shared her personal journey coming from a stable financial background, but then tragedy happened and she lost her husband to cancer, leaving her depressed, having suicidal thoughts. She tapped into her inner wisdom, inner guidance, and her psychic abilities. She's now on a path of service and inspiring others to step into their soulful, impactful, rich leader that they were meant to be. Until next time, bye for now. Bye, Alex.
Bye.